Okay, welcome in everyone. We are for, this is, well, let me just get the chat up. There's someone posted something in there. So basically what this is a continuation of the last stint that is just finishing, or it's just finished. Pyro is currently doing the random penalties right now to figure out who has got to serve what drive-throughs. This is our 8-hour charity race for Mind. This is going to be the second stint, another 2-hour stint, as Radiate is just going out, getting himself a 3-second penalty. And this is going to be, I think, our Tier 4 and Tier 5 drivers. So let me just double check. Yeah, these look like Tier 4 and 5 drivers to me. So, and this is going to be the grid. Bottom to top is grid. Okay, so it's reverse grid for this stint. It's going to be a standing start again. It is going to be Hurricane starting on pole in the number 8 car. That is the Mazda. Then we've got Epsilon Delta starting second in the Porsche. That'll be the new Porsche 911 that was just added this week. Then we've got D-Dubs in the GTR. Pretty sure that'll be the 2018 version. Then we've got O'Leary in the Citroen, who is not currently racing in GT, but he was racing last season, so he'll be very familiar with GT still. Then we have got Radiate, who's on screen in the Jaguar right now. Then we have Ardio, who's been away from GT for quite a long time, driving for the admin team, so it'll be interesting to see what his pace is like, because he's definitely the one that is the biggest mystery in this group, having been out for so long. They're going to be in the Ferrari 296. That was also pretty recently added. Probably a better choice than the 458, which is their alternative for that manufacturer. Then we've got Kanata in the Lexus. Going to be the 2017 one for that, pretty sure. Then we've got Dr. S in the Lamborghini, who's been pretty fast this season. Had a really great start to the season. Took a double win, I think, at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Then we've got Timvo, or I think he's probably going to be called Astro when he's in the lobby, in the Peugeot. That'll be the RCZ. Then we have the Mercedes team, which is my team. We've got Fracas, so these are the ACC guys. He's going to be in the AMG 20. Then J-Nick, who has got really good one-lap pace, J-Nick. There's a lot of pole positions, a lot of fastest laps. Going to be in the Honda NSX. Then we've got Sargent in the Toyota. He's going to be in the Supra. A little bit rough on the tyres, but it should be pretty quick. Then we have Rotikos, who is doing double duty, racing for McLaren in this stint, and then he will be racing for Team Mercedes in the next stint. They're going to be in the McLaren. Then we've got Audi, that is with RCR Rich. He's another driver who is very good over one lap, but he's made mistakes in some of the races that is really what's cost him the time in Mondays, or it seems to be. And then we have NTO, who's going to be starting last in the BMW after Duo Fin, managing to take that win in the last stint. So let's see, I've just been tagged. Drive-throughs, here we go. Okay, we've got a lot of drive-throughs. So RDO has got 3 random drive-throughs to serve. So unlucky for you. Then we've got NTO's got 1. Fracas has got 1 random one, 1 forced one, so 2 in total. O'Leary's got 1. Epsilon Delta's got 1. Rich has got 2. J-Nick doesn't have any, so that's good news for him. Then we've got Hurricane, D-Dubs, Orozco's, Kanata all with 1. Timvo and Sargent without a penalty to serve, and Radiate with 1. SD has 2. So, who we got? J-Nick, Timvo and Sargent. How do they line up on the grid? Timvo quite near middle to back. So that'll be interesting to see who decides to serve a penalty and when they decide to serve that penalty. But we do have drivers starting to filter in now, so let's have a quick look on track. Most of the grid looking like they're on softs. Janik currently on the hard, so that might be a difference in strategy immediately. It'll be interesting to see what lap times these guys get down to. I would be reckoning it'll be somewhere in the 45s on the softs, for sure. Fastest lap in the last stint was a 46.1. So you would expect these guys slightly higher in the tiers to be able to beat that, as Kanata's just now going on to his first fast lap. Everything's fair. It's random, it's always fair. All in the name of charity. And I think there should still be some random penalties that could be applied. There is a max of 75, which is at 6 per team. And I think last time I heard there was 12 or 13 left. So it costs 10 Great British Pounds if you donate to the mine charity using the link, which I imagine will get posted either in the description or potentially pinned at some points in here, so it'll be easy for everyone to find. And beyond that, you can actually pay for a specific driver to get a penalty. So there's 12 random drive-throughs remaining, so that's how many you've got for the random ones. It does cost a bit more, it costs 50 Great British Pounds if you want to donate and get one for a specific driver. And I believe they are limited to 5 per team, but there's probably still quite a few of them available if anybody is feeling generous, or just wants to make somebody's day a little bit worse who's already here. Yeah, and link has just been posted. So any of you do want to donate, that is the link for it. Let's see how many we're missing. We've got 13 on track. Okay, we've got 14 in. We're missing one driver at the moment. Okay, let's see. Who are we missing? Okay, so NTO is in because he's the host. Rich we've got in. Rotikos is in. Fairly certain. Saw him, yeah. Sergeant, yeah. J-Nick, yeah. Fracas. Oh, well, whoever it is, they're just joining now. I think it is Fracas who we were missing. Yeah, so Fracas is in now, everybody is in. So, we just got, for NTO, we'll set the grid, and then we will get going. There we go. Get the chat back up. Okay, let's go back out on track now that everybody is here. Not that. And he immediately comes into the pits. So, we've got Timvo on the mediums in the pits. So everybody else looking like. Most of the grid are on softs, which makes sense. Starting on 50% fuel kind of forces your hand a little bit, because you want to do your short stint on the softer tyre, because they only really go that far. Ooh, we've got a little bit of action. I think J-Nick just getting out of the way for a couple of guys on their on fast laps. Welcome, Panic Potato. Yeah, true. And you've got your comms to come up a bit later. So I'd definitely be taking a break. Everybody is just jumping back into the pits. But we have got a couple of different strategies that are going to play out at the start. Citroen definitely going to be one to watch off the line. Insanely fast off the line. Definitely the best car in Group 3. Probably the best car, I was going to say best car on the grid. Probably the best car in Group 3. Enjoy if you can. And he's already set a 46.0, so already beating the fastest lap set in the last stint. Nobody else who is in... Oh, we've got a couple. 2 other laps, everybody jumping back. We're going to start pretty soon now. NCO just giving us that message. There was quite a bit of argy-bargy, let's call it. If we're being nice, let's call it argy-bargy. But everyone, for the most part, keeping it nice and clean. Okay, and we're going to have to try and keep track of all the drive-thrus that are going to be coming through. Fair. It's a good phrase. It's a very accurate representation of what was happening. So actually, what is the time of day for this one? Because we are moving slightly late. Okay, so we're on sunrise at the moment. Still on ×1 time multiplier. And we are getting underway. Hopefully. Everything looks okay. Okay, so let's go back to O'Leary, because I'm pretty sure he is going to be flying into turn 1 first. Hopefully we're getting going. Light's taking a while to come on, but we are getting going now. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. Oh, and Radiate's jumped the start. That could cause some problems for the cars behind. Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact there. Luckily, it's not heavy damage. Oh, Jay O'Leary not managing to get into the lead. Hurricane managing to hold it. That's a great start from the Mazda. Oh, O'Leary getting forced out a little bit wide. Manages to pull back into P3 for now. Still right on the back of Epsilon, though. Getting into the slipstream. Is Epsilon going to defend? It looks like he is. O'Leary going around the outside. That Citroen is quick. Is he all the way through? He's all the way through before they get there, but he's a little bit deep on the brakes. Managed to get to the apex nicely anyway. Manages to hold that position. Gives Hurricane a little bit of a gap. Nothing really to be worth talking about at this point. Got Ardio up into 5th, coming under a bit of pressure from Esty. Esty managing to get the move down the inside. Looks like that's completely done. It is maybe looking at going after D-dubs as well. No, it has to stay behind for now. Certainly was. Certainly was, Jack. As we've got Static having a go at Ardio around the outside. Oh, goes really deep on the brakes though. Not going to be able to. Oh, a little bit of a twitch from Ardio, and that allows Static to get the run. Get the inside for the hairpin. Oh, Ardio on another big slide. Oh, somebody's round. That is the Peugeot. Who was driving that? Oh, it's Timvo. Not great, but he's not lost that much time. Could have definitely been worse. Especially with the pack so close together. And unfortunately, he's one of the drivers that didn't have to serve a drive-through at any point. Oh, somebody's already in the pits. NTO serving his drive-through, but I'm not 100% sure that is allowed, because that is the end of lap 1. I believe the rule was not lap 1 and not the final lap. I don't know whether that was meaning like before the start. Yeah, I think he might have to do another one to serve it right. So that is very unfortunate for NCO if that's what he was thinking. As we've got a little bit of a battle brewing for P3. All these drivers on the soft tyres. Everybody up front. Yeah, so if somebody's in the chat with him, or you might want to let him know that he needs to do another one. Cost himself another 20 seconds. And they are the leaders from the last stint. And they probably, I think they had around that to lead as a lead, but it's all gone now because he has to make a second drive through. What's everybody? Oops, somebody else has made a mistake. Kanata, what happened to Kanata? Maybe his wheel disconnected, possibly. That is a big time loss, big crash. But he doesn't actually have damage. Maybe he was there for long enough for that to get fixed? I'm not sure. Fracas in to almost certainly serve his drive-through penalty. He might be in VR, so I'm not sure he's going to see it. His pedals died. I'm going to say something must have gone wrong. He lost so much time. Way more than you would for a normal crash. As we've got a Rotkos going ahead of Radiate. Janik just keeping it clean. He's on the hard tyres. He's not really bothered about finding position in this stint. Just wants to stick as close to the pack as he possibly can. As we jump up to this little bit of a battle for sixes. Esti's going really wide. Manages not to spin though. Going that wide with the Lambo. Ooh, Adio having a big slide as well. Now he's looking loose on the rear. I'm not sure what setup he's got. Yeah, that's NTO. So if someone wants to jump in a party with him and let him know that's on his team and he needs to serve another one, he'll save himself the penalty at the end of the race. Yeah, Adio is really sliding that car around. Not sure if he's on pad or a wheel. Like I said, hasn't raced in a long time in GT. Oh, he goes into the wall. Didn't get damaged, but he unsettled the car massively. Gonna allow Rich to at least have a chance. No, Rich is just staying behind for now. This is the car that he's up from, or was P2 in the last stint. So he's made a good start as well. Yeah, it is great to see the new GT3 cars in GT7 now. Nice. So, Whack on his team, going to let him know that he does need to serve another drive-through penalty, which will probably annoy him to no end, but them's the rules. We've got Rotkos with 46.0 for the fastest lap. And the Audi not quite being able to keep with the Ferrari through the chicane. He's a little bit hard to follow. It's way closer to the apex there than Ardio did. Ardio going a little bit wide. It's not a huge issue going wide of that corner. You can carry a lot of speed on the exit. But I'm fairly certain the fastest is to take the inside. Oh, jumping around a bit there from Rich. Guys around him are going to have to be a little bit wary of that. Let's see, ooh, Static having a big slide on the exit. See if we had anybody else serve a drive-through. Absolutely. So NTO obviously, but that one doesn't really count. Fracas has done one legitimately. Kanata, I'm pretty sure, didn't. So, just two served so far. Oh, somebody's in the pits now, serving one. Got Hurricane leading by 1.2 seconds. Tideway looking a little bit better on the Citroen, as RDO sets the fastest lap, 45.7. So, starting to get themselves into the 45s now. Let's just jump to the back. So it's Rich. Oh, he's not a... It's not a drive-through because he's put fuel in. That might be another one that needs to be reset because he didn't change tyres, but he did fill the tank. So I think that's two drive-throughs incorrectly served so far, which is not looking good for those guys. As we had RDO managed to get past Esti. It makes sense if he's doing 45.7s. What was SD doing? 8/10 out of him on the last lap. It's a large amount of time to take out. I don't think it was a penalty either. I think that's just he was going that much faster. Now it'd be interesting to see if he could keep the car on the track, for one thing. But if he can keep making his way forward. SD maybe coming in to serve one of his drive-throughs. Oh, Epsilon Dale's made a mistake. It's a couple of positions lost, 14 Porsche. Down into 5th as SD does come in. Epsilon doesn't have damage, crucially. But it has cost him a couple of positions and about 3, maybe 4 seconds. As RDO continues to march his way forward, 45 again on the last lap. NTO with the 45.4. Oh, RDO messing up the chicane. Hit the wall on the inside. Luckily, it didn't make him to a complete stop. Must have been a bit of a glancing blow, so enough to give him damage and bring Epsilon Delta right back onto the rear of the Ferrari. And he gets a half-second penalty for good measure. So that is going to be a position lost back to Epsilon Delta. Fracas has served his, I know that one is right. Team Lambo has just served the penalty, I believe. We'll have to check this lap time. He hasn't put fuel, he hasn't put tyres, so that looks like a correctly served penalty to me. And yeah, Rich does need to do another one because he put fuel in, so it's not a drive-through. Everybody else who has done one, apart from NTO, who think has to do another one. Well, he does have to do another one. Everyone else who's done it has done it right so far. All of the top 10, yeah, he refueled, because he's up at 100% now. Like 100% he needs to do it. So if someone from his team wants to hop in a chat with him and let him know he's got to do another one. And he's actually got 2 to serve, so he's still got 2 more to go. So let's have a check-in with the guys that weren't doing softs at the start. Mediums is an interesting choice, because I would have said that was the preferred race tyre. To do like a full tank, do your full fuel stint on. Because it's got the pace and it's got the longevity. Hards tyres you usually want to avoid as much as you can. And softs you always want to do as low fuel as possible, especially on a high tyre wear track like this. Ooh, Exodus Gaming, it's Janik with a half-second penalty. Probably not going to be enough for NTO to get the move done, but it's definitely going to drop him back. It will be the equivalent of £50, so probably a bit more than 50. Not sure what the rate is now, but you would have to work that out and do it that way. As we're going to stick with this and see if NTO can get this move done quickly. He is on the soft tyres, so it should be a fairly simple move. Is Janik going to defend massively? No, not really bothered about it. And NTO does get that move done. Now, is Janik just going to follow? I imagine he'd just start bump drafting. Because there you go, 50 Great British Pounds, 57 euros, so 58 euros. Oh, if we just do exactly 57.74. and that will get you a specific drive-through for your driver of choice. Has to be in one of the next 2 stints, because they can't pick them up while they're in the lobby, just because it's not guaranteed that we can get the message to them. Because if some drivers are in VR, they can't actually see the in-game chat. As we've got SD, oh, he was looking for a move, but I think he maybe just had to get off the throttle mid-corner. It unsettled the rear. Has a slide, didn't get damage. Still holds on to P12. Janik in P11, and he's really losing out to NTO on the softs. So let's see, I don't think anybody else has served a drive-through now. So which makes sense, all the guys at the front just interested in getting going. You don't want to drop yourself back into the pack if you don't have to. And Hurricane taking the chicane pretty nice there. Oh, Jay O'Leary with a big slide out of the chicane. And Hurricane in this Mazda used to be like his absolute weapon of choice, this Mazda. There's many updates ago, but he was blisteringly quick with this car. And he has been in the past. So not surprising to see him hold on to the lead for now. It's reverse grid, Mike. It's reverse grid. So because you messed up so much, he gets to start first. And he's managed to hold on to it so far. He's got a long time to come back. I think they ended up about 6 minutes down in the first one. So he's got a lot of work to do, as does the rest of the team. But he started off very well so far. Obviously 66 laps for this stint. First pit stops are going to be coming up pretty soon. That might be Radiate in for his first pit stop. Let's see, is Radiate doing any fuel? Did a tyre change, so this is a pit stop. Only managing 10 laps on the softs, and potentially limited by the fuel, because he only had 5%. I was going to be tight to make another lap without running out of fuel. Up to 87%. Going to be on the medium and all the hards. I'd be surprised if he goes on another soft set with that much fuel. So NTO puts himself half-second penalty. Timvo's recovered really well after his spin on the opening lap. And Static is really pushing that tyre. Yeah. I mean, they are in the M6 as well. And it's NTO, who is quick, like very quick. Yeah, RDO up in 6th. He's actually lost the position. Actually, it's Eroticos who's coming flying through. 45 is doing consistent, very consistent low 46s. Which you would expect. He's actually a tier 2 driver who's been drafted in last minute to fill in a space. So he is a little bit faster than the guys here. As we've got Hurricane in, who might have made a mistake, or he just lost that position to O'Leary. That's definitely his first full pit stop. And allows O'Leary to take over the lead with a 3.2 second gap. His tyres are looking in great condition. I wonder if when he pits he'll put in more fuel and go for a long stint on the softs, because those softs could go quite a way further than this 11 lap limit that's set by the fuel. Dipped into the 48s on the last lap though. Maybe got caught behind Hurricane. Because pretty sure Hurricane must have had some sort of problem or a penalty. Because O'Leary was ahead when Hurricane came into the pits. Go to NTO. Currently in 6th, still hasn't done his proper drive-through. Radiate might be last, or second to last, after his pit stop. If I had to guess. NTO's going to be coming in this lap for his pit stop. He's not going to be able to serve his drive-through this lap. It's actually 12th, so a couple of other people. So he came out ahead of Static on the hard tyres though, so that is going to be a hard position to hold on to for him. See Static in the slipstream. O'Leary does come in. Except fuel limited. Epsilon Delta's managing to go for a 12th lap. Pretty impressive on 50% fuel, getting a 12th lap. And Radiate manages to defend this position pretty comfortably for now. Static's got to get his tyres up to temperature a little bit. Same with the hard tyres, very much. You've got to wait a couple of laps before you start to get any sort of grip from them. It's part of the reason they're so hated, is because they take so long to heat up, and even when they do, the grip isn't great. As we've got SDM, we've got Fracas in. Yeah, we've got some great liveries on display. Team Toyota, I think this is a pretty regular livery for JP. Sure, I've seen him use this before. Very nice livery. Oh, and Radiate having a little bit of a twitch. Static right on the back of him. NTO's coming out on medium tyres for this stint. And Static pulls to the outside. Has the Supra got enough to get past the Jag? Doesn't look like it. Has to pull back in. He's going to send it down the inside. He's very narrow to try it. No, great move. I think Radiate just had to brake that much earlier on the harder tyres. Static takes advantage. He's through up into 8th position. Very nice move, and I expect him to drive away pretty comfortably now. His tyres should be up to temperature. We've got Rich, who's still needs to come in. He's got a lot of fuel now, but very worn tyres. Like I said, we've got NTO out. Janix just made his off the hard tyres onto the mediums for a full long stint. Fracas going for a shorter soft stint. Same as Esty, so this is going to be a battle for position. On the same tyres, looks like they're going to be on the same strategy. If I had to pick one, I would rather be in the AMG. MR cars are a little bit tricky. Going over all the curbs. It took you 5 laps to remember how to drive. Like I said, you had good pace. You must have made your pit stop now. You're onto the hards. Another short stint on the hards. Wow, Epsilon Delta is doing some massive fuel saving. He's going to be in this lap, because there's no way that can go another one. 13 laps on a 50% is very impressive. I was curious where he's short shifting. How much is he short shifting to make that? Which drive through? We will go and double check that. We'll go and check that now. That's not a drive through. He changed tyres. Or has he done it on lap 9? Yeah, I think he must have done it on lap 9 then. Lap 7, yeah, that tracks. 2:05. So, Kanata served his. Rich, I think, has served his. Lap 9, yeah. So, Rich has sorted his out. He's still got one more to go. Kanata... I think he only had one. Yeah, Kanata only had one, so Kanata is done. And then we've got Epsilon Delta, full tank of fuel. He's probably going to lose the lead. Oh, he's definitely going to lose the lead because O'Leary didn't put in a full tank. Yeah, one more for Rich to do because he didn't serve the first one correctly. So O'Leary with a 3.5 second lead. Hurricane on the softer tyre with a lot more fuel. And Timvo has pit. He must have pit. And he must have put fuel in. So I don't think he's... Was he trying to serve his drive-through penalty? Actually, no, he doesn't have any. So that's an interesting choice. So Timbo pit on lap 11, it looks like, for just fuel. That is a very interesting strategy. I'm curious to see how that shakes out in the end. Epsilon Delta managing to come out in 4th, ahead of RDO, who is on the hard tyres, so he's probably not going to be catching him. Erotikos is on the medium, so stick with us for a little bit. Erotikos probably going to get up to the back of RDO pretty quick on those hard tyres. Both sets probably up to temperature now. They should have a decent amount of grip. Oh, what passes for decent with the hards at least. And yeah, he's already maybe looking for the move. RDO is sliding that Ferrari everywhere. Every corner exit. I'm going to take a stab and say he's on pad. Because if he was doing that many, I think this is RDO serving one of his drive-throughs. He's coming into the pit. Oh, he almost loses on the pit entry. He's got 50% of fuel he's just paid. Surely that's what he's got to be doing. And he does have 3 of them to serve. Has the most out of any of the drivers in this stint. And gives Rocco's that free position. Yeah, Epsilon is on the medium tyres. Full tank. I'll be interested to see if he's doing as much fuel saving. He's definitely doing some. Like shifting around 85%-ish on the RPM bar. So we'll see how that works. I wonder if that's going to maybe let him do a 2-stop. Because that could be worth doing if that does work. Because saving a full pit stop is going to save you a considerable amount of time. Potentially, with 13 on the softs, if he can go 26 and 26, he'll have to extend one of them by a lap. So he'll have to go 26 and then 27. But the mediums will probably do that. I'm pretty sure. So this could be a great strategy call from the Porsche team. Maybe it's the Porsche, because I know the Ferrari's really good on the fuel as well. And that's one of the new modern Gr3s they added. So that is very interesting. We're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's go and check. Did RDO serve his penalty correctly? We'll check the time as he comes across. Looks like he probably did. And then we'll have a quick look down to see if anybody else has got rid of their penalties. Yeah, that's my only guess. Because I haven't even driven it yet, so it's hard to know. 2 minutes and 9. I wonder if he got a penalty. Because that is about the right time, but it is quite slow. Because we've seen 2:05s for the drive-through. But it looks like RDO's done that correctly. Fracas is already out of his drive-through penalties. SD has one more to go. Has served only one of the penalties. Janik doesn't have any in this one. Rich has served his. No, that was a pit stop on lap 13, so he's still got one more to go. And Kanata has done his only one of the race. As now, Hurricane has managed to catch up to O'Leary. And Timvo's managed to catch both of them. So we've got a bit of a three-way fight for the lead now. And the fast cars are behind for now. How long is O'Leary going to be able to hold this position? Ooh, Hurricane getting a great exit. Using the extra grip of the mediums. Mazda's pretty stable. Oh, you can see how much he's being held up in the corners. The hard tyres just do not have the grip. Now, is he going to go for a move into turn 1, or is he going to try and set it up into the chicane? Pulls to the inside. No, pulls back in. Oh, he's trying to. I think he was trying to do a dummy. Maybe made a bit of contact. Yeah, I think he made a bit of contact in the braking zone. Oh, and O'Leary gets a half-second penalty for it as well. But that's allowed Timvo to just go through and take the lead. 3-2 positions there for Timvo. Rocco 7 is drive-through. And RDO 7 another of his penalties. So Rocco's is down to none. That is all his penalties done. RDO has got one more left to serve. Doesn't look like anybody else is serving him on this lap. That is a good question. I really don't know. Maybe he's just that fast. 46.2 on the mediums, he did a bit earlier, is a very good time. He has made one pit stop. Did Lambo serve 2? I don't think so. Yeah, RDO, you've done 2 of yours. SD has only done 1. I'm pretty sure, because Fracas has done the same, they're both together. So, SD still has 1 more to go. Okay, so, info from the Porsche drivers, it is very fuel efficient. Spoyan saying he could do 25 laps if he needed to. Epsilon's going to need to do a little bit more than that to make this work. As I think he's probably him serving his penalty, yeah. So, is Epsilon's penalty done and out of the way? Where is it? There it is. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still got 8 drivers to do at least 1 penalty. And where is this going to drop him out? It's going to drop him probably just behind Radiate. He's going to keep him ahead of Roricos. Roricos going to have the better run. That is enough to get in the position. And this could be a very interesting battle. You can see Epsilon's got a lot more fuel in the tank. We're really going to have to pay attention to where he goes this RDO 7, his 3rd and final penalty. So RDO is done with his 3 drive-throughs. Basically a minute of time lost, about 20 seconds per penalty. But now at least he's got to have a lot of free air to drive into, because he's still going to be out comfortably ahead of Kanata. Who could also potentially be trying the 2-stop. Lexus is great on the fuel. Tyres not so much, but if he can manage it, the mediums to get 26 laps or so, could maybe try it as well. Hurricane has now managed to get past O'Leary. But yeah, there's quite a few interesting strategies going on. Timfo pitting for just fuel is an interesting choice. And Epsilon trying the 2-stop is also a very interesting choice. Although trying the 2-stop makes a lot more sense to me than trying whatever Timvo is trying. Because changing the tyres is only costs a couple of seconds. Like maybe 4, 5 max. So it's usually worth it just to have the new tyres. You'll gain it back over the stint. Yeah, 4 to 5 seconds for a tyre change. So like 90% of the time, it is worth it to just change the tyres. As we've got a battle brewing for P4, although I think Static has just made that move. He probably has, because D-Dubs is on the hards. 4.7, being very exact. Is that how much testing you did to figure out the strategy? Make sure it was definitely the fastest one, whatever you were going for. I've never actually bothered to work it out that exactly. Yeah, that pink one is great. Stands out really well among the pack. Yeah, so exactly. So you know exactly what it is then. He could have maybe accidentally skipped it. It'd be a weird thing to accidentally skip though, because I'm pretty sure when you go into the pits, it puts you on change your tyres by default. It doesn't have it on not to change it. Although I never really pay attention, so that could be completely wrong. Oh, this is where the battle is going to be happening. We've got potentially a bit of a four-way battle starting. Although Radiate is going to lose this position with the half-second penalty. Izoroko's going to try and go for the move earlier. Definitely looks like he's got to the inside. He's got through. Not fully ahead, but he's got the inside for the chicane, and this is where he wants to be. Managed to hold it really nicely. Radiate slots back in, and they've got Epsilon Delta and NTO coming behind them. Epsilon Delta's still doing a lot of fuel saving. Oh, picks up a half-second penalty. Pretty sure that's early enough that he's going to serve it this lap. Yeah, it is. That might be 2 free positions for NTO there. Ooh, NTO thinking about going for a move. Not really sure why when the cars in front are going to get out of the way in a minute. And here they both pull out. Luckily they're going to ghost. Then 2 free positions. NTO up into P7. And Epsilon, I think, backing out of that move, made a little bit of contact in the corner. We've had a change. Esty might have served his second penalty. Oh no, he's made a mistake on this lap. He's had some sort of incident. It's not an out lap, but he's a lot of time down on the cars around him on this lap. Something has gone wrong. Probably, maybe at the chicane. Because whatever damage I assume he got, it must have been a big crash. He's lost quite a lot of time. Because he was up with Fracas fighting for P10. Now P9 as Radiate comes in. So this is probably going to be a medium stint for Radiate. He's going to drop him... No, it's not going to drop him behind Ardio. Ardio's a bit too far behind with his 3 penalties. True. I mean, that's the idea. It's meant to be a 2-hour race. If it was slightly under, that's great. Because we started a bit late as well. So the more time we can knock it down and get back on track, the better. So, did Radiate come out with mediums? He did. So, let's back up to the front. Timvo probably going to be coming in this lap. 21 laps. This is a really interesting strategy. I'm curious what tyres he goes on to, because he's not going to be able to do sort of even a 2-stop, like 2.5 stop with just putting fuel in. Hurricane's got a lot further to go. So it's Timvo into the pits out of the lead. Gonna put Hurricane back in the lead with a nice gap, 8 seconds over O'Leary, who's coming in as well. Has he done 10 laps on the hards? O'Leary's serving his drive-through now. Makes sense. Okay, so Timvo has changed, 52%, probably going to be on a set of softs. So, the race is starting to shake itself out a little bit now. Oh, Timvo on the hards. So we're doing a really short stint on the hards as well. And did manage to get ahead of Timvo in him serving, doing that pit stop, and him serving the drive-through. So what kind of gap does Hurricane have now? Almost 11 seconds to Static. Is he going to be able to close that in? They're on the same strategy, pretty much the same fuel, pretty much the same tyres. All going to come down to pace in that. Got a rock cars just coming into the background. 32 laps with mediums, no. Like the fuel can't do 32 laps, there's no way that's happening. I don't know who you were talking about doing 32 laps, but there's no way that's possible. Like you'd have to use like fuel map 6 to try and do that. Which, as Team England will tell you, even on an oval, it's not a good idea. Timvo. Nah, there's no way. He might try to split 2 soft stints. On 50% fuel, he's going to be going 11 or 12. Epsilon has, Hurricane hasn't served theirs yet. And now O'Leary, I'm assuming this is in for his pit stop. Canassa's wheel died again. Oh, it certainly did. That is a lot of damage. Oh, this is just really undoing their race. We'll get all the damage fixed now, but if that's going to keep happening, that is going to be a really big problem. Really unfortunate. Oh, what is that? Well, I think pretty sure it's going to be a 3-second penalty, but I'm pretty sure he's served all these penalties. So this is going to be a pit stop. He will have done his 10 laps on the hards. Who was it who I wasn't sure on, actually? Oh no, it was O'Leary, but he did a drive-through, so he has done his 10 laps on the hards now. And then, oh, Fracas pitted, maybe? Did he have 2 penalties? No, I'm looking at Fracas only had 1 penalty. Oh no, he had 1 and a forced one, so that is his 2nd penalty out of the way. So we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers that are still left to do their drive-throughs. Is he saying what he's trying? Because I am curious. Very curious what he's trying. Yeah, so Fracas is done with his penalties. Yeah, Ardio does pick up a 3-second penalty for cutting the pit line on the entry. Has dropped him back towards Kanata, so at least Kanata's got something to aim at now. Someone to maybe try and fight with for a little bit. Because he's possibly about to get lapped. So we had our first driver in the last lobby getting lapped. I think it was lap 15. We've managed to make it to lap 23. Now with Hurricane starting to close in. And crucially losing time to Static. Static taking about a second out of that gap the last couple of laps. Royco's also up into 3rd. NTO down into 4th. So Royco's continuing his march forward. He served this penalty. So nothing left to do for him except his normal pit stops. Timvo didn't have any penalties, I believe. It was one of the drivers that didn't. Yeah, Timvo didn't have any to serve, so he has still got none to serve. Yeah, around lap 13. It might have been lap 13 for the driver. I think it was lap 15 for the leader. As Hurricane still 47.8. Time is static going to be able to do. 47.1 on the last lap. Couldn't quite match it, but he's still taking time out of the leader. 47.0 for Rotko's, so Rotko's taking even more time out, being consistently in the 46s before that as well. Then we've got NTO pretty much in the middle of his stint. Epsilon, this is going to be... He's done 11 laps so far. I really think they're trying the two-stop. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. We've got somebody else in the pits. D-Dub's refueling, Dr. Esther refueling, Fracas has already served his penalty, so these are all normal pit stops. And probably going to drop a couple of them close to O'Leary. How's D-Dubs when he comes out? He's going to be just behind. But he's out onto the medium tyres now. Did a second short stint on the hards after his first one on the softs. So maybe two... He must be. Whatever strategy he's thinking of, he is cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but he's cooking something. Where is he? He's in sixth. What's the gap? 30 seconds off the lead. He's not doing any fuel saving. But like I said, I can see him potentially trying two soft stints. If he's got really good tyre wear, he could maybe try like 15 up on the soft tyres. That's my only theory for what he could be trying. As he goes wide, probably going to get a penalty on the exit of this corner. Yeah, does confirm half-second penalty. As we've got Rich coming in for a pit stop because he doesn't have enough fuel to make it any further. Yeah, he is having a pit stop. So Rich does still have his one more penalty to serve. Has got Epsilon closing into NTO. Slightly better tyres, a lot more fuel. I'm not sure how easy this move is going to be if he's having to save a lot of fuel, and that might be another half-second penalty. No, it's just okay. The exit of that corner is a little bit tricky. I'm not 100% sure where the actual penalty line is. I would have thought that was a penalty. Because based on my experience, there's like an invisible line down the middle of that curb, where if you go over it, it's a penalty, and if you don't, it isn't, but it's hard to spot. And he's actually losing a little bit of time to NTO. NTO, I'm fairly certain, will be just going flat out on his strategy. Definitely won't be doing as much fuel saving as Epsilon is. Nobody choosing to come in now. Has Hurricane managed to lap Kanata? No, he's not quite onto the back of him yet. Now that Kanata's not got his wheel problems, he has got pretty decent pace. 48.6, 47.8. Hurricane's still taking time out of him. As Kanata, I think RDO must have just served the penalty on that lap. And that has brought him back closer to Kanata, just over 1.2 seconds. He does have the fresher tyres. I will try not to. That ship's kind of sailed at this point. So what more could go wrong? Besides it happening again. Okay, and we've got a Brattleboro for second as well. Drops into the 48s for Static on the last couple of laps. Still low 47s for Otkos. Not particularly surprising, because we know Rotikoz is quick, and he's a bit of a super sub to fill in a space. And does Static have a penalty? Might be one of the drivers without. Yeah, Sargent's one of the ones without, so Rotikoz has served his. So this is for position, and Hurricane still has his to serve. So this is a fight for the lead. But Rotikoz can get this done. Nicely into the slipstream. Not sure what the McLaren's going to have up against the Supra into turn 1. Not enough to get him close enough for the move. Oh dear. No, what's happening again? Kanata's still going. His wheel's fine. Thought Kanata was dying again. Static having to go defensive. Rotikoz gets sent to the outside. Is he going to send it all the way around the outside? I don't know. We're just playing. We're being nice. I can take the pain of driving the awful monstrosity I have to in the next one. We don't really want to do it to Rotikoz. Also, there wasn't really a good option. The two McLarens you could have had is this or the F1, and that's just an awful decision. Whichever way you slice it, nobody's picking that. Yes, it will be starting at 17:40 UK. 22:06. Yeah, it will be, yeah. This one ends at 5:20. As Rotikoz managed to get to the inside at the penultimate corner. Not somewhere you see moves often. And Static does manage to hold it around the outside. Some good defending here from Static. As Rotikoz not being able to get the move, has to drop back into the slipstream. Probably not going to be close enough to turn 1. Can he set himself up to get a better run towards the chicane? Maybe try and give himself the inside if he can, so he can really command that line. Possibly. Very possibly. Possibly, because if you want to drive, you should be able to, because I think the only driver that is missing is the stint I'm replacing. So if you want to drive the Supra in the next stint, by all means, feel free. Let me know and we can sub you in for that. Though I'm really not. You have no idea how bad that monstrosity is. As Rotikoz going all the way around the outside. Oh, he's got... I think he might have dipped a wheel into the grass and he got dragged out all the way. Didn't get damaged, but he was ballsy. He was ballsy to try and go around the outside there. Still got the dirty tyres. Yeah, but Klinger, honestly, it does not matter how slow you are. You will be faster in the Supra than me in the FT1 with minimum front and maximum rear. Like, it can barely get into the 45s with that setup. It's so bad. And you could potentially be competing for a win, because Static is in the net race lead right now. Yeah, looking like that's going to be the problem for Static as well. Unsurprising, that's the tyre that's always going to hurt here. And the Supra definitely has a reputation for not being great on its tyres. Has been a little bit better since the update and with downforce tuning, but even still here, it's not quite got the tyre wear. You can see the McLaren's doing considerably better. How's NTO doing? NTO's got worse tyres, a little bit less fuel as well than the cars in front. Still holding Epsilon Delta. How many is this? Pitted on lap 13, this is going to be lap 17. He's already under 50%. He's doing massive fuel saving though. But he's actually gained on the leader. I think he was 18 seconds back a couple of laps ago, and now he's 16 seconds. Yeah, he's doing massive fuel saving, shifting under 50%. How is Timvo doing? 16 laps, not 16, 36 laps to go, sorry. That's 18 on softs if he splits it now. I'd be amazed if that works. But he's going to be able to go one more, maybe two, if he's doing some fuel saving as well. But he doesn't look like it. He's revving it all the way out. So yeah, very curious what his strategy is going to be. Let's go on a quick check to see if we have missed anybody serving their penalties. O'Leary, that was a pit stop. D-Dubs, I don't think has one. He does have one to serve, but was that a pit stop on lap 24? Yeah, it was. We saw that. SD 228, that must have been a pit stop. He has just recently come in. Rich, I think, has already served his. No, he's still got one more to serve. No, he's actually served that on lap 28, I think. 206.2. That looks like that was his second drive-through, served correctly this time. So Rich is done. Fracas we already know is done. RDO is done. Kanata did his very early on, so he is done as well. And this battle for P2 has come back together. Not really surprising considering the tyres. Rorocos has got a lot more to work with. But Static's defended it really well. Rorocos going around the outside again. Great move there from Rorocos. Pretty sure the limit is that curb, so he should be fine. And he is, so that is Rorocos up into the net race lead. Maybe somebody should have nerfed him a little bit. As Hurricane comes into the pits, out of fuel. That was probably just over 20 laps on those tyres. Rorocos going to be going considerably further than that. And yet Hurricane changed tyres, pitting his fuel, so that is, looks like a soft stint, and that is not going to count for his drive-through, obviously. So he's still got that to serve. Let's see, Timvo going again. So if he pits at the end of this one, he is going to have to do 16 on the softs twice. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to go medium soft then. But he's doing massive short shifting now. So he's obviously trying to manage the fuel to get to the end of this lap. So this looks like it's a plan. I just don't know what the plan is. Hurricane going on hards for a short stint, okay. He's already done his soft stint, so this might be hards and then mediums to the end. Then we've got J-Nick, who has already done his hard stint. So he's got the softs that he's still got to use. Radiate we have seen on the hards. Still has his penalty to serve, I believe. Yeah, he does. Go to our rod cars. 2.1 seconds in the lead. Plenty of tyres, plenty of fuel. Not going to be coming in just yet. 4 more laps maybe. But Static is coming in. Oh, maybe probably close to getting a penalty if he doesn't. Into the pits, out of fuel, tyres very worn. And now with Rotocos with a 7-second lead over NTO. And then Epsilon Delta started to lose a little bit of ground to NTO, but we know why, because he's doing ridiculous amount of fuel saving. But the fact that he's only basically 9 seconds behind Eroticos, this strategy could end up working out for him. And we've got some more drivers in the pit. So that is a pit stop for Static. He doesn't have any penalties anyway. Neither does Timvo, but he's going to full tank. Okay, so he's going medium softs, surely. That's got to be the strategy. It's a very interesting strategy. And going to come out behind D-Dubs? Yeah, he's going to come out behind D-Dubs. He's got a decent amount of clean air to drive into, as we're basically halfway into the race. SD... Did we figure out that he served his last penalty? No, I think he's still got one to serve. Everybody else at the back is done, so... SD is the lowest down, who still's got a penalty to serve. He's currently holding his position ahead of Rich, who is on the hard tyres. SD with a lot more fuel and medium tyres. So they're in pretty different strategies right now. Then we've got Fracas on the mediums. There should be a long stint for him. And then one more hard stint at the end. RDO, I think Kanata's had to pit, and that is what has dropped him back from RDO. RDO onto the medium tyres, what kind of lap times? Did a 46.7. Some 47s while the tyres were fresh as well. Just dropped into the 48s on the last lap. Yeah, it's definitely a viable strategy. It was the pitting and not changing tyres at the start that I was curious about. Ooh, RDO having a slide again. Okay, NTO in. Full tank of fuel. Another set of mediums. Yeah, another set of mediums for NTO. So he's going to have a hard stint to do at the end still. Radiate's done his pot stop, also up to 100% fuel. Probably going to be on to... Has he done his hard... He's done his hard tyre, so this is going to be another medium stint for him. Where is it going to drop him out? Just ahead of Fracas? This could be quite tight on the pit exit. Hey, Alessandro. It's going well. We've got some bold strategies. Ooh, 3-second penalty for Radiate. That's going to cost him the position anyway if Fracas doesn't get it now. But he's... Ooh, don't... that was tight. That was tight. Fracas just about managing to get the move done. He's letting him go. Maybe he did force him into the wall. There wasn't any... There's no damage or anything, though. That looked barely, like, just about okay. At first look. But yeah, some interesting strategies going on. Epsilon Delta is trying the 2-stop. And he is starting to lose time to Eroticos now. That he's in free air. Eroticos still doing low 47s, even on the warm mediums. And that gap is going to need to be up to around 25 seconds before he makes his final stop to come out ahead. So he's got quite a bit of work to do. And Kanata has now been lapped now that he's pitted. And Hurricane, previous net race leader, 220 a few laps ago. That's too long to be a drive-through. I think it must have been his pit stop onto hards. So Hurricane's still got a drive-through to serve. Let's see if we've got anybody sticking together. So J-Nick is about to come under pressure from Static, but he's going to be pitting this lap. So Static doesn't need to get this move done, but he obviously won't necessarily know that. And he's on the hard tyres. And we saw in the first stint, once Turty got on the hard tyres, First couple of laps are treacherous. You just got to be careful, especially on the corner exits. And he doesn't really look like he's setting himself up for a move, which he obviously doesn't need to. He's going to get some free air in a minute when Janik pits. Yeah, and he's 100% coming in. Tyres are dead, fuel is out. And Static just needs to go wide here. That's why the pit lane entry on the inside is awkward, especially if you're the car behind, because it can actually end up costing you time, because you have to go around it and leave a bit of space. So where is Janik going to drop down to? Bottom end of the top 10 maybe? Might be able to hold on to that. O'Leary's been doing pretty consistent 47s. Switch to Timvo. How's Timvo doing? Medium tyres. 46 a couple laps ago, 47 on the last lap. He just ahead? Yeah, he's going to be well ahead of Janik. Rich behind is probably just about going to get ahead. Both going to get ahead. So Janik drops down to P11 for now. Fracas did manage to get that move done. Brady obviously on the hard tyres now. Not that surprising. So how is Timvo looking? He's a minute behind the leader. Orozco's right now is the net race leader by a few seconds. He's fighting with Static in the Super, and he's about to pit, so we will see where that shakes out. End of 36. He's got 30 laps to go. I don't think there's a world where he tries to go soft. So maybe... well, he's got to go hard anyway, I think. So how much fuel is he putting in? Up to 70, 80, 81%. And Epsilon Delta does obviously take the lead. Orozco's should come out behind Hurricane as well. The question is, does he come out behind Static? He might do because of the fuel. So yeah, so Orozco's out onto the hard tyres. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think Static's going to get in with the run. Yeah, and he is. Very different strategies, though. Static is going to go onto the mediums for the next stint, to the end, I think. And Orozco's is going to have softs for a shorter stint at the end. So it's going to be great to see how that plays out. And Orozco's going to have to be careful on this lap, getting these tyres up to temperature. Static should probably pull out a little bit of a gap, having done a few laps on his already. And we have somebody else in the pits. Rich, but he's a pit stop. He doesn't have to serve any more penalties. Might drop him behind RDO. Yeah, it looks like he definitely will. Yeah, up to 100% for Rich. He's already done his hards, so that might be onto mediums now. Should be a big enough gap that Kanata won't get past him. And Kanata's actually back on the lead lap now that people have pitted. And yeah, Rich coming out on the medium tyres like we expected. Epsilon Delta still with a quarter of a tank pretty much. But are the tyres going to go first? He's got to go 5 or 7. How long's he got to go? So he needs to go 26, 3 more laps. He can go a lot more than 3 laps on the fuel. So the fuel is going to work out for this 2-stop. The tyres might force him onto hards for a little bit longer than he wants to. And then we'll just have to see if Orozco's and Static can close that gap. I mean, his car's Timvo's car is the M6 in it. That's his go-to car that he's great in. So if you give him that, he probably would. McLaren's not normally that great here, to be honest. Doesn't handle the curbs amazingly well. Better than most of the other MR cars, but still. As Static's picked up a half-second penalty, and that might be a free position for Rotskos. Not a particularly lenient penalty zone. And Rotskos is within half a second, so that is definitely going to be enough for him to get the position. Which is great news for him. Going to have a lot of free air. We're going to have 3 seconds of clean air opposite Hurricane up ahead. Also on the hard tyres. So all these 3 drivers on the hard tyres, but I think Hurricane and Static are on the same strategy. Rotskos is trying something different. And I'm not sure who is going to come out of this best. You would say based on the race that Rotskos has got just the best raw pace out of the 3. 47 on the hard tyres compared to 49 for Hurricane, 49 for Static, but that was with the penalty. So this is looking like a Rotskos versus Epsilon for the win, if I had to put money on it. And if I had to put money on who's winning it, I would probably put it on the Rotskos. Because I think when he goes on to softs at the end of the race, he's going to take chunks out of Epsilon if he's doing fuel saving as well. How's his tyres? Tyres looking are okay. At least one more lap and we know that he can make it to the end. Although I'm pretty sure this stint alone shows that he can make it to the end on the field. So it's a very creative strategy from the Porsche team. I'm not sure if they tried it in the first stint. But well, Boyum was saying 25 laps on a tank, which wouldn't quite be enough to make the one-stop work. So maybe they didn't. But it's nice that they have it as an option. As Rotskos still chunking into this gap, down to 2.1 to Hurricane now. Coming down under 2 seconds as they approach the end of the lap. Now let's have a quick check-in just to see if anybody has served their extra penalties. NTO still has to serve a drive-through. O'Leary is done. Timbo is done. D-Dubs still got to serve one more penalty. Same with Esty, has to serve one more penalty, and that is Radiate still has to serve one? Yep, Radiate still has to serve one as well. Everybody else, I think, has served theirs now. Well, Hurricane has to serve his, actually. The race time was just under 2 hours. Giles, if he's still here, might know, because he's already mentioned it, but it was just under 2 hours. But I'm not sure on the exact amount for the total race time. And down to 1.2 now. Rotskos taking chunks out of this time. .47.4, even faster on the hards on the last lap. 48, just a 48 for Hurricane. And what did Static do? 48.1. Okay, so you did 2 medium stints, 22 laps. Yeah, I think that's kind of going to become the standard strategy. Is to do 2 medium stints. Well, actually no. It'd be 2 medium stints or 2 soft stints if you got good tyre wear. Now the gap down to just 0.7 of a second. And Rotskos getting a decent exit. He's nice in the slipstream now. Now how long is it going to take him to get this move done? He's got a big pace advantage. 47.7 the last lap. Hurricane's bringing his times down a little bit. Who is doing the next stint for Timbo's team? Let me just check. that. Discord, here we go. Timvo is T-Bop. And then Kellen for the final stint. The guys doing the other stints for Team Peugeot. And Rocco's down to under half a second. Starting to get close enough where Hurricane will have to keep an eye in his mirrors. Rocco's getting a better exit. Not going to be close enough to send it though. Still within 0.4, gap to the leader. Still 18 seconds, and Epsilon still hasn't pitted. So he's really extending this stint. And he's not doing as much fuel saving anymore. And every lap he does means less fuel saving, maybe even none, if it's this good on the fuel, for the final stint. And we've missed the move, but it's actually Hurricane coming in, probably to serve his drive-through. Yeah, that's Hurricane's drive-through done. So where he comes out is going to be for position. Yeah, they're both good drivers for Team Peugeot that are coming up. Definitely. Where is he coming out? 5th. Ooh, it's going to be close with O'Leary and Timvo. Oh, 3-second penalty. Oh, that's going to cost him those positions. As Timvo goes for the move on O'Leary. Manages to get him. And now, will he have a chance at Hurricane into the chicane, maybe? Oh, what's happened? What happened to Rocco's? Somebody made some kind of mistake somewhere. Oh, that might open the door, that little mistake from Hurricane. Yeah, it's just too wide there. Surely Timvo's going to get that position. And he does, so Timvo up into P5. All these drivers have got one more stop to make. Hurricane 7, that 3 seconds is going to drop behind O'Leary. Going to bring him fairly close to D-Dubs as well. As Epsilon Delta finally into the pits. So Hurricane does manage to hold on to 7th for now. But Rocco's must be on this lap. 48.7 wasn't great, but he was behind Hurricane, so I think he was being held up a little bit. This is the one that where he's lost the time. Yeah, 50.2. Made a mistake somewhere. And it was before the penalty line, so it definitely wasn't that. Epsilon only up to 87%, so he's still got to do some fuel saving then. And he is onto the hard tyres, and he is definitely going to the end. Timvo is going to get him. Epsilon out in front of O'Leary. So 16 seconds off the lead. It's 20 seconds for a drive-through. Up to about 25 if you change tyres. Is O'Leary. O'Leary was looking to the inside there. Epsilon not interested in giving up that position. Wants to try and maximise his speed through the corners because he's doing a lot of fuel saving to get this car to the end. And what's crucial now is how far the leaders can build that gap. Because like I said, 25 seconds with no fuel. Eroticos has got the least amount of fuel to put in. As he's going to go for the move into the lead, a lot simpler than his last move. And now he's back up into the lead. Could that mistake on the last lap prove costly? 2 or 3 seconds lost the position. It's cost him some time on this lap as well. And Stas is actually coming in. He's almost completely out of fuel. He might have timed this absolutely perfectly, and he did. He ran out just as he crossed the line into the pits. How's NCO? Closing in. He's on the medium tyres. So NCO's not out of this, potentially. Unless he's got to go onto the hards, in which case it'll be a bit more difficult, but he's still not out of this. Although he does actually have a drive-through to serve still. So that is going to cost him the 20 seconds to drop him behind Epsilon, O'Leary, Hurricane. Has D-Dub served his? No, D-Dub's still got to serve his penalty. Radiate, still got to serve his penalty. SD, I think has served his final penalty. Okay, so that is SD done with their penalties. So there's just D-Dubs, NTO and Radiate. Timbo up into third for now. Medium tyres, he's got to go onto the softs at the end. But he needs to drive away from Epsilon as much as he possibly can. 46.9 on the last lap, 46.4 on the mediums, another great lap. Coming up to lap Kanata, who I don't think has had any more wheel disconnects or problems so far. Hopefully that's not going to commentate as cursing, but fingers crossed. It's going to be okay for the last 23, 24 laps. And the Rockers. What kind of lap times is the Rockers getting back down to? 47s? 47.2. NCO's picks up a half-second penalty, 46.6, so he's definitely chunking in the times. Timvo, assuming Kanata's going to get out of the way, he must know that he's in last place, so anyone behind him is going to be lapping him. Has got O'Leary in the background. Epsilon 48.2, so he's losing about a second a lap to Eroticos right now. Which should be enough for Eroticos to get this position back. As we've got O'Leary and Hurricane in for their final stops. 20 laps, assuming they're both going to go on to medium tyres. Full tank for O'Leary. Full tank for Hurricane. Surely both going to be on the medium tyre. Fracas is going a little bit longer on his medium stint. He's got to do hard still. So he's got one more stop. Let's see if we can find the results. Like the time difference results. That is not the right thing. Let's go into Discord. Don't know if we've got the time splits. It will be down somewhere, I just don't have it to hand. So we don't know exactly how everything's shaking out with the gaps. Ah, it's in the second sheet. Alright, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, here we go. Result calculations. Okay, so let's have a quick rundown before things start to kick off again. NTO, who was the lead after the first stint, had a 17-second lead over Rich. So Rich has lost out quite a bit in this one. He had to do one extra drive-through as well. So that will explain some of the time. Currently just under a minute off. So NTO will have extended his lead at the moment. Udale was in the McLaren 32.5. So that is Eroticos, who he's racing. So he's still going to be net ahead. I think NCO's probably going to be a net race leader. Does have one more stop to make, but it's currently only 5 seconds back from Eroticos. Let's see, is anybody else? Nobody's going to be gaining any massively. Porsche team, which is Boyan, but it was 2 minutes down in the first race. So it's looking good for NCO in the M6 still. He's got his drive-through to serve. But at the moment, he's still going to be the net race leader. If he does have to go on to hards, which I think he might, Eroticos could maybe have a chance at taking the net lead for Team McLaren. But how are we doing on lap times? 47, basically identical. Epsilon just into the 47, so still losing about a second a lap. And we still got a fair few laps for the leaders to go before they make their final pit stops. Then J-Nick is just having a really quiet race, but he's up in 5th right now. True. True, you make a good point. So, J-Nick does have to stop one more time. As do most of the cars ahead. Stasik is the first one who's going to the end. And crucially, he's actually not going faster than the cars at the front. So there's a chance he doesn't get back into, or get back ahead of them after they make their next stops. 41 seconds down. And he's not gaining, he's basically matching their times. Still got a good chance at a podium. But I think he's going to have to defend that from Timvo potentially. Charging him down at the end on the soft, which is not going to be easy by any means whatsoever. Radiate isn't going to the end, so he's got one more stop, and he still has to serve a drive-through penalty. O'Leary is going to the end, he's only just made his final pit stop. Ahead of D-Dubs, who also still needs to serve a drive-through. Hurricane has now finally done his. He's down into 10th, but he's going to gain quite a few of those positions back when everybody makes their final pit stops. Rich's got one more stop to make. Hurricane, 3-second penalty. That's going to make that interesting, the battle for P12, because RDO is only, well, he's going to be about 3 seconds behind Fracas now. Yeah, basically just over. And then we've got Esty going to the end as well as Kanata, but Kanata's going to struggle to make that gap up in that amount of time. RDO the one on the medium, so he's going to be the one charging towards Fracas. So we'll have to try and keep an eye on that if we can. Checking in with the leaders. NCO, maybe a penalty slowed him down on this lap. He's lost a little bit of time to Eroticos. And how's the gap? They're still pulling out to Epsilon. I'm not sure this strategy is going to work out, but fair play for trying it. Because I really did not think it was possible in any car. Yeah, NTO does have a drive-through, and I think he is serving that this lap. Yeah, he is. So that's NTO's drive-through done, literally as it's mentioned. So where does this drop him out? Should be behind Epsilon, and he's going to be ahead of J-Nick. Or is he? He is just barely behind. He should be able to get that position back. But obviously he's still got a pit stop to make as well, so that is good news for Team Toyota, as GP was saying. Got a good chance at a podium still. A very good chance. I think we might stay on board with NTO for a little bit, because I think this is become a fight for P3 pretty quickly. He's going to be out long enough to close that gap, for sure. And he's on the mediums. They have worn, a lot more worn than Epsilon's hards, but they're probably still the better tyre to be on. And he's not doing any fuel saving compared to the Porsche. And that gap already down to... Well, it did come down to 8/10, but Epsilon getting a decent exit there. NTO currently does still have the fastest lap. How's the Lambo? You are currently in P14. Not too far off of 13 and 12. 12 in the AMG, you're on basically the same strategy, so that's... You've got a chance of maybe catching practice, depending on how the race goes. RDO is going to be a bit of a tall order, given he's on the mediums. But you're currently 143 down, and that is going to come down when the leaders make their pit stops. And what were you down in the first one? Trying to figure out who was in Team Lambo. Who was in Team Lambo? Here we go. Lamborghini. I2. So last minute sub for I2 as well. NTO's getting close. Yes, I think he has. He's just done it recently. Yeah, he's done his final drive-through, so whatever he's doing now is just going straight to the end of the race. So, what was the gap? Harshik, 80 seconds, so 1:20. So right now, let's use Epsilon as the race leader, because he's going to become the race leader. You are 2 minutes and 40 off the... Well, let's see, no, you're 2 minutes and 40 off that. 2 minutes and 40 off NTO. It's basically the same time. So yeah, you're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds down right now. Is my best guesstimate at what it is. And the gap now 23 seconds to Rotokos. Still got a few laps for Rotokos to build that gap a bit more. And he probably is doing 48 still, 47.9, so not a great lap on the last one. But the pace is still there, he's still going to be extending that. Got about 5 more laps for Rotokos to go. Timbo, 2, maybe 3 laps. He should be able to go softs from the end after that if he needs to. But actually I think he does need to, because he hasn't used them yet, so he's definitely going softs. It's just a question of whether the tyres are going to die at some point. As now we have got NTO onto the back of Epsilon. Be interesting to see how easy this move is on the straight, with the Porsche doing so much fuel saving. We'd think it'd be quite straightforward. And he is, that's not a great camera angle, but he is going for the move. I think Epsilon backing out of that. Not really going to be too bothered about that. Doesn't want to waste time fighting when he's going for the 2-stop. So that is NTO back up into the podium positions for now. It's not going to be after he makes his final stop, but again, he's got probably 5 laps. If the tyres can manage it, 5 laps to go on the mediums, and then do as few laps on the hards as he possibly can. Oh, Timbo wide, oh! Perfect timing to catch it, but that is going to cost him a lot. That might potentially cost him a podium at the end of this race. Managed to get it going very quickly though. But that is about 6 seconds lost. And he's still got a little bit of front damage as well. Really unlucky there. He was driving a very interesting strategy that was actually looking like it might work out. Because you've got to remember, he spun on lap 1 as well. Don't know who's helped in that. We only caught the back end of the spin. But he is back going now. So, what is the gap? 25 seconds now for Roticos. Oh, and a half-second penalty for Epsilon as well. My money is still on Roticos for this. Hey, welcome Super GT. Great to see you. But yeah, my money is on Roticos for this one. As long as he doesn't mess it up. Which he does have a habit of trying to do. Up to 21 seconds over Timvo. Like I said, who he's racing is Epsilon Delta. Looks like Timvo's got back up to pace pretty quickly. Don't know if he's going to be able to go for one more on that fuel. Pretty sure he won't. So 14 on the softs. It's possible. He's in an MR car. They should be able to have a bit of better tyre wear. Just a question of whether that is going to... Oh, what's happened to Fracas? A 204, which looks suspiciously like a drive-through, but I don't think it is. I think it was a mistake. But he's lost a lot of time. Still only 6 seconds behind Dr. Esty, so that's not impossible for him to catch up. But RDO is well and truly gone now. And RDO is going to be looking ahead to Radiator, who I think still has a drive-through to serve. Yeah, Timvo in, only 1% of fuel, had to pit on this lap. Can only assume he's going softs to the end, even from here. And see if he can make 14 laps on them. And who've we got making their way forward? Hurricane's making their way forward. D-Dubs, I think, still has a penalty to serve as well. So who've we got? We've got Radiate and D-Dubs are the last two that I think still need to serve penalties now. O'Leary's managed to get himself back up into P7. These guys are all on the same strategy, so that is going to be a good battle come the end. Okay, and Timvo is only 6 seconds behind. Oh, Epsilon's made a mistake. Oh, he's pit. That is an interesting call. That is a very interesting decision this late in the race. So he's abandoned the two-stop. I mean, he looks like he's still got... Well, he must be definitely doing some fuel saving. Timvo's up to 70%, he's still on 50. But he does have the soft tyres. Definitely got a chance at a podium now. But I do think that gives Roticos a great chance of locking in this win. Because he's got 42 seconds over the first driver going to the end. That might be enough to come out in the lead. It probably is enough to come out in the lead. And NTO, I mean, that's great news for NTO as well. Because he just got past Epsilon. So, I wonder if... I know Epsilon's in a team with Iggy. And I know that for the 12-hour races, Iggy does do the race engineering, so I'm wondering if he's just worked out it's worth it just to go onto the softs. Have the better tyres, the hards are so bad, it's not worth it. Seems a bit late in the race for me to change it, because I think he wasn't going to, I don't think he was going to win, but he might have had a lock on second. I'm not sure who was going to catch him. I mean, he might still get back to second. The Ferrari team right now is P12. Currently a minute and 40 down. That is to Orozco's. What was the gap in the first stint? Minute and a half. So I reckon you're about 3 minutes. Actually, no, because NCO's further back than that. About 2.5 minutes down, I reckon. As Orozco's is in for the final time. Rich is making his final stop as well. onto the mediums, comes out ahead of SD and ahead of Fracas, so he should be able to hold on to that position with the better tyres. Not sure he's going to be able to challenge RDO, but at least he's got something to aim at. Radiate, I'm pretty sure, still has a penalty to serve. Same with D-Dubs, as we've got this three-way battle going on. As Rotikos looks like he is going to come out in the lead comfortably, which, now that Epsilon has pitted, we kind of thought was going to happen. The real question is, where does NCO come out? Janick up into third. He's got a pit stop to make still. NCO looks like he's coming out in sixth right now. D-Dubs not carrying as much speed as he could through that corner, and Hurricane's going to come along the outside down into turn one. D-Dubs super late on the brakes. Is going to cost him enough on the exit. Yeah, Hurricane saw that one happening. Great switchback, already got the move done before they even get to these little S's. And that is him up into 8th position. And you can see the cars ahead. NTO on the hards. There's a chance O'Leary and Hurricane can catch both of them. Definitely one to keep an eye on. So, where are the gaps? Epsilon now 3 seconds behind Static. Janick has got a couple of more laps before he needs to come in, although if he does have to go on to a hard or a soft tyre, he does still have to do 10 laps on them, so he might need to pit at the latest on the next lap. And what is Rotikos' gap? 12 seconds. Surely he's got this in the bag. Timvo's takes the fastest lap, 45.2. I don't know if Rotikos is going to be trying that, or trying to beat that. He doesn't need to. It's all about the race result. Get nothing for the fastest lap. And okay, Janick is in. So, Janick making his final stop. Crucial thing is what tyres he goes on to. Does he have to go onto the hards? I think he ran them early in the race, so he's probably going on softs. And it looks like there is going to be potentially a fight for the podium. Because Static is on old mediums. Still got 10 more laps to go on there, on those. Epsilon's on fresh softs. Ooh, but he's drifting a lot through there. And he's saving a lot of fuel, which we know already. Oh, no, not as big a drift as that! Oh dear. Well, we know he's pushing. Oh! And he collects Kanata on the rejoin. There's twice now we've basically changed to Timbo at the perfect time to catch him spinning out. Still got a little bit of damage, he's pushing, but that is his challenge for the podium over without anything happening up ahead. Still the soft tyres versus NCO on the hards. Should be pretty comfortable for him to keep that 4th position, as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes. And I think if he just backs it down now, holds on to that 4th, doesn't keep pushing 100%, doesn't need to set fastest laps, because even if he sets 10 in a row, he's not going to close that gap back down to Epsilon now. And now we've got a 4-way fight brewing for P5. Can NTO hold on to this? And actually looking at the gap for the lead, I think Rotikos is going to take the lead overall in the race for Team McLaren. Because they were about 32, 33 seconds down in the first stint. And that is what the gap is right now. And with the Rotikos on softs, he should easily extend that gap beyond what he needs. And he does set the fastest lap, just because he can, as O'Leary gets a great run out of the final corner to the inside of turn 1. Does he get it stopped? Ooh, NTO's trying the switchback. And that might have compromised the exit enough for Hurricane to just drive around the outside. And Hurricane actually manages to squeeze between the pair of them. And Hurricane up into P5. Really ambitious move there from Hurricane. Absolutely threading the needle between O'Leary and NTO. And now going fully defensive into the chicane. O'Leary fully along the outside, but Hurricane's going to hold it. And he does. Great move there from Hurricane. So up into the top 5. Now he just needs to hold on to this position ahead of O'Leary. They were fairly evenly matched in the first stint on pace when they were really close together. So it's not a guarantee he's going to be able to drive away now. O'Leary not really looking, just sitting behind for now. That Citroen has got great acceleration. So if there's any way he can set it up, there might be a bit of a surprise. It is this short and tight sector. As D-Dub's behind, going for the move on NCO. Ooh, looked a little bit late and there's some contact. I mean, D-Dubs is still, I'm sure D-Dubs has still got a drive-through to serve. So honestly, I'd be considering serving it now, instead of wasting time fighting NCO on the hards. Just try and pit. Let's see if does he come in this lap? No, still wants to try and fight this one. I thought I heard some contact in the background. It was O'Leary going into the wall a little bit on the inside. Maybe running a little bit too low on the rear downforce. Now that the tyres are giving up. And he's got some front damage. Wow, we beat our 2K target already. Have we had any more donations for the drive-thrus, or are we still sat on that? Well, thanks everyone for donating. Like I said, Ross said, we've already met our 2K target. And we've still got 4 hours of racing still to go. 44.6 from Orozco's. Now he's just showing off. As O'Leary's just trying to get back into his rhythm. NTO's closed up a little bit as we've had a change for the podium positions. So Epsilon now into P2. So that is great for Porsche. And to be fair, Roscoe's, it makes sense to keep pushing. Maybe not 100%. Another 44.6. Now he's just trying to dunk on the people and he's not even supposed to be in this lobby. Oh, Epsilon he dipped a wheel on the grass there. Lucky to hold on to the car. Is Static safe from Timbo? What kind of lap times? 48? No, he's not. Static is not safe from Timbo yet. Timbo's tyres are going to drop. Although they're going to be tight for making 14 laps as well. So that is something we're going to have to keep an eye on. I'm doing well at catching people either when they spin or when they're moments from spinning. Because usually dipping an outside wheel there is a death sentence. As soon as you hit the brakes, the car is just going to rotate so quick. But yeah, Timbo's actually lost a bit of time there to Static. And his tyres are not going to be looking too great by the end of this race either. He's not going to be able to come back at Epsilon unless he has fuel problems. Boyd and Moss only 2 random for Stint 3. So that is 4 more. So I think we have 8 random drive-thrus left. And we do still have plenty of specific drive-thrus. So if anybody's interested in donating for some of the random ones, the link should be pinned to donate. It is £10 or the equivalent in whatever currency you donate in to add a random drive-through penalty. They can still be added for Stint 3 and Stint 4, either one. If you don't really care, just say either, or if you do want a specific stint, say in the message with the donation. And if you want to do it to a specific driver, that is 50 British pounds or the equivalent of in whatever currency you donate in. With that, you can say which driver gets to serve the penalty. And yeah, we are already over the 2K target, but it doesn't mean we can't push it even further. And it would be great if we could. Obviously a great cause to donate for. As Timvo took a lot of time out of it all, but he's caught Kanata, who he's probably not going to be particularly happy with him after he almost collected him on his rejoin. And it doesn't look like he's moving out of the way that easily. Yeah, and Timvo really having to work to try and make this overtake. But I think Kanata's just backing out there finally. And Timvo does have that position. Didn't cost him too much time, but he didn't gain any time in that sector. So a little bit of an opportunity missed potentially to take some time out of Static, and he needs to take all the amount of time he can out of him, because I'm not sure his tyres are going to make the end. As we drop back to the battle for P5, Hurricane has just barely gapped O'Leary. He's definitely not safe at this point, as NTO 7.5 second penalty. And D-Dub's trying to go for the move, gets further alongside this time. Nice move there, but I don't know if he's got this done. NTO's got the inside for the hairpin. And he does, NTO managing to hold it. Oh, but NTO getting the better exit. Oh, just about enough alongside. He still hasn't got this position though. Some good side-by-side racing between these two. Neck and neck down the straight. I don't think there's going to be that much difference on the straights between these two cars. D-Dub's very late on the brakes. As long as he manages to keep it inbound, it looks like he has. He's got that position for now. Is NCO going to be able to fight back? He's tucked up in the slipstream. D-Dub's surely got to go defensive here. Yeah, it does. Ooh, leaves a little bit of a gap to the inside. Closes it off now. NTO to the outside. Yeah, can't really commit to the outside and make that work. So that is the position for D-Dubs. I do think D-Dubs still has to serve a drive-through penalty though. We'll have to double check after the stint if he doesn't. But I don't think I've seen him serve his yet. As a quick check-in with the other driver who I don't think has served it, which is Radiate, which also doesn't like he's served it. So I think they're the two penalties that I'm pretty sure still need to be served. Kanata, I don't know if he's had any more issues with his wheel. He has dropped a bit further off the lead and off the back of the pack. It's fine. It's a nice livery. It's fine. The livery is the least of his concerns right now. After the couple of the pedals disconnect, the wheel disconnect, having the wrong livery is not really his concern. As we've got Fracas still 6 seconds behind Esty, not really been able to do much about that gap. And Rich managing to pull away from SD, actually closing in on RDO. They are on the same tyres. RDO's a lot more worn though. What kind of lap times? RDO's getting consistent 30s, 47s though now. And like I said, Radiate still got to serve his penalty. J-Nick should be fine. He's actually not far off the back of NCO and D-Dubs on his soft tyres. So it's not impossible that J-Nick gets up to this fight. I think there's two penalties that still need to be served. D-Dubs and Radiate still have penalties, I believe, that haven't been served yet. Everyone else is okay. But I can save the replay after the stint and check if we need to, if they don't serve them in the next 4 laps. Or if anybody's on their team and knows that they have served them, let me know. But yeah, I think they've still got penalties to serve. And J-Nick really bringing that gap down, although Kanata fighting him is not going to help. I mean, at this point, Canata's just doing anything to entertain himself. He's been on his own pretty much since 3 laps into the race. Which is not ideal, because obviously J-Nick is wanting to focus ahead. And I think Kanata, yeah, he's going to try and unlap himself. Like, the flag rules are turned off, but he should know that he's not fighting J-Nick here. He knows he's 15th. And still going side by side. Honda's actually pulling ahead of the Lexus. Kanata pulls in, probably a smart decision at this point. How is Timbo looking? It's down to 5 seconds, but his tyres are not in great shape. 3 more laps at the end of this one. And tyres looking about the same, but obviously Timbo on a soft compound should still be faster. He's been doing 46s up until the last lap, when I imagine he probably got a penalty there. So 2 seconds, it's not impossible that he still catches him. I'm not sure he's going to manage it, but he could be close. Epsilon, has he got enough fuel to make the end of the race? I would assume he does, because he's been doing this fuel saving for the whole race, so he must know what he needs to hit the numbers. Nobody's going to be able to stop Ararcos though. A couple of 44s early on in this soft stint, dropping to the 45s, 46s, 47 on the last one, might have been a penalty. But this is great for Team McLaren, because what is the gap to NTO? 55 seconds. So I think that is going to put them about 20 seconds into the lead. Because I'm not sure anybody else is going to overtake NTO or the BMW team. Although Kanata is now unlapping himself. Is Kanata on softs? He is. Okay, fair enough. He is on soft, so he's the one coming through the pack, trying to unlap himself as much as possible. So now the fighting makes a bit more sense. And he's probably going to unlap himself from D-Dubs fairly quickly. Is he going to do it into this corner? D-Dubs actually going defensive. He might not know that this isn't for position. Kanata gets the run around the outside. Now he's unlapped himself. Oh, that forces D-Dubs wide. Go through the grid. Well, NTO's got the half-second penalty, so it would have cost him that position, but he's going to get it immediately back. And J-Nick, that front left, is not looking good. 2 more laps after this should be okay to manage. Radiate, I think, has still got to serve a penalty as well. Unless I forgot to mark it down. And I have seen it, I don't know. I do not remember him serving a drive-through. He's got now a 10-second lead over Ardo, who's actually only 2 seconds ahead of Rich. So this is going to be a fight. 46 is on the last lap, 48's now for Ardo on the warm mediums. Rich is coming at him fairly quickly. Still not quite onto the back of him. It might only leave him 1 lap to actually try and go and get this move done. And that's assuming that he can get there. It's not a guarantee. Because Ardio's tyres aren't that bad, although going into the wall a little bit, that's going to cost him. You can see that time really coming down now, already down to 1.5, got to come under by the time they hit turn 1. How are we looking behind? Fracas is very slowly closing that gap into Esty, but it's not going to be enough before the end of the race. Ararco is now up to a 25-second lead. He's about to start the final lap of the race. Epsilon pretty safe in second. Static with a 3.3 second lead. He should be safe from Timvo, whose tyres are going to make it to the end, crucially. but I don't think that gap is small enough for Static to come under pressure on the final lap. Then we got Hurricane, still only just ahead of O'Leary. And we said at the start of the race these guys were pretty even on pace, and they haven't really managed to separate themselves. But now we'll have to see, does D-Dubs pit? Because this is his last opportunity to serve his drive-through. Unless I have missed it. But let's see what he does. He is not pitting. So I'll have to check that after the race. How about Radiate? You're coming towards the end of the lap. Are you going to pit in as well? Or pit in do the opposite of what D-Dubs just did? No, he's not either. So I may have potentially missed them, but I will double check after the stream. As we have got a battle now, down to 0.7 of a second. Needs to get a bit closer, but he will have a chance to go for the overtake on the final lap. They're a minute and a half down, which means Arroyos is coming to the line. Plenty of fuel in hand, plenty of tyres, 26-second gap after serving a drive-through as well. There's been a great race from Arroyos. Absolutely great. Seen a couple of small mistakes, nothing major though. Credit to Epsilon for trying the strategy. At 25 seconds, if he had committed to the two-stop, that might have been enough for him to be in... There'd definitely been enough for him to be in the fight for the win. So I don't know if that was the right strategy decision, to abandon the two-stop. But he does get second, 26 seconds back in the end. Then we've got Static does hold on to third ahead of Timvo, who does get fourth with his interesting strategy as well. Then Hurricane going to come across in fifth, just ahead of O'Leary, who's just going to stay ahead of Kanata, who's a lap down. So Hurricane in fifth after serving his penalty. O'Leary seventh after serving his. NTO was the race leader after the first stint. I don't think he's going to be now. Comes across in seventh. D-Dubs, not sure if he served his penalty or not, so I'll have to check on that. Then we've got Janik in ninth. Radiate in 10th, and Rich did manage to get that position. Radiate, another one we have to check whether they served the penalty or not. But Rich did manage to get that position. As long as he doesn't make a mistake in this final corner, should be able to hold on to this. And the Audi team holding 11th, Ferrari in 12th. Then we've got Esti, Fracas and Kanata all over a lap down. And that is it for Stint 2. Let me save the replay so I can check that after. And then potentially D-Dubs and Radiate. I'm going to check the replay after the stint, after the stream is done. And then let's check the results. No one's tried the two-stop so far. The only person who was trying it was Epsilon, and they abandoned it to go for a late three-stop. So what was audio? 1 minute 30. So we should be able to get all the lap times from the stream, because we did catch everybody crossing the line and what the gaps were. But yeah, that is it. I think it's RDO who is taking over for the next stint. And I think he's probably going to be doing the spins for those as well. But yeah, stick around for the next couple of stints. Like I said, I don't know. I might be driving in the next one. I don't actually know. So I'm going to hop off and double check that. But yeah, stick around. The third stint should be up fairly soon, I would imagine. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for donating.